Hello, welcome to Molecular Science. Today we are going to discuss about cell signaling. Now, when we talk about cell signaling, here discuss about the principles of cell signaling, different ways in which the cells communicate with each other, major classes of cell receptors. Now, if we talk about cell-to-cell communication, it is a cellular communication which involves transmitting signals, typically chemicals like proteins or other molecules across the space between one cell and another. The signal transmitting cell is called as a signal sending cells, and the signals are transmitted in the form of ligands. So here this we take as a signal transmitting cells, and here the ligands are being released from the cells. Now the signals which are released from the signal transmitting cells are received by a receptor. So this is a target cell which has a receptor. The ligand comes and bind over here. Now once the ligand comes and bind over here, the target cells, there is a series of reaction or a cellular process gets activated, which can make a cell to undergo, say, proliferation or various metabolic processes. So here we can see this is a signal sending cell which is sending the signal in the form of ligands, and which is being taken up by the receptor, which is here we have the formation of a receptor ligand complex, and inside the, now once this complex is formed, there is a conformational change and this target cells get activated for the further process. Here you can see there is a cellular response. Once the ligand binds over here, there is the initiation of a cellular response. Now we'll discuss about different ways of cell signaling. The first one is endocrine. Now endocrine signaling, the signaling molecule usually here are hormones which acts on the target cells which are present at a distance, a far distance from the signaling cells. That is, the signaling cells and the target cells are located at far distance. So this is your best example is the hormone. How the hormones regulate at the different cells like target cells which are present at a distant location. And endocrine hormones is usually carried by a blood or by other extracellular fluid from the cell it is released. So here we can see this, there are two distant cells, signaling cells and targets are located at distant the distant region. So here by it takes the help of a blood vessels, these ligands they passes through the blood vessels and reaches the target cell and brings a cellular response in the target cell. The next example we'll see about the what is paracrine. The paracrine signal molecules are released by the cell which affects the target cell only nearby. So this is when the target cell is nearby to the signaling cell. Now the best example here is the conduction of a neurotransmitter signals. That is, here this is a nerve which is sending the signals in the form of a neurotransmitter, and these signals can be either received by the other neuron or a muscle cell. So here we can say this can be either neuron or a muscle cell. So once this signal is given to the target cell, the further cellular response get activated in this target cell. The next we'll see is autocrine. Now, what is autocrine? This autocrine, the term indicates autocrine means it acts on the same cells from the way the signals are being released. So here we can see this is a cell. From here we have the release of the ligands, and these ligands bind to the receptors which are present on the same cell. So here these are the highlighted receptor. We can see these ligands are binding to the receptors and they brings about the cellular response. Now, this here we can see the best example is the growth factors which act in this manner, and as cultured cells often secretes growth factors that stimulate their own growth and proliferation. This type of signaling is widespread in tumor, many of which overproduce and releases the growth factors. And basically that promotes an unlimited cell proliferation of themselves and adjacent cells and other like is adjacent non-tumor cells in an appropriate manner. Now, the next one is juxtacrine. Here, juxtacrine, the signaling cell and the target cells, they are connected by the receptor. Here we can see the signaling cells are synthesizing a ligand which passes through this receptor which is being adjacent to each other. That is basically connected by these receptors. Here we can see how the signals are moving. Now we'll see about types of receptors. So there are different types of receptors. First one we'll discuss about the internal or a nuclear receptor. So basically when we see the ligand, the receptor can be present on the surface of the target cell or it can be internal. So it just carries the internal receptors, they carry the ligands. These ligands can cross the cell membrane and these are carried by the internal receptor to the nucleus and it binds to the specific site and brings about the cellular response. The internal receptors are found in cytoplasm and respond to ligands which can travel across the plasma membrane. It regulates mRNA synthesis of specific genes as binds to DNA, proteins, and specific region of the DNA. Next we'll see about cell surface receptors. So these cell surface receptors are also called as transmembrane receptors which are found attached to the cell membrane. Here we can say this is the structure of transmembrane. So here we can see these are the different channels and here we have the running of the ligand binding domains are here. These are the ligand binding domains and these are the membrane spanning regions, and these membrane spanning regions they just span over the cell membrane, and here these are the ligand binding domains, and these have two ends, like one is internally and the other one is external region. So this is the cell surface receptors. Now here we can see the cell surface receptors once the ligand comes and bind, and here it is taken up by the receptor and passes to the internal intracellular response inside the cells. Once it reaches inside the cell, it carries out the intracellular response. The next one is ion channel receptors. Now, what are ion channel receptors? These ion channel receptors allow specific ions like, for example, we can take sodium, calcium to pass through it. In the presence of ligand, usually in the presence of a ligand, so in the presence of these like sodium, calcium, these there is certain conformational change are brought in these receptors. So here we can see once a ligand is present, the gate gets open because of certain conformation change which is triggered by the presence of the receptors. And once the ligands are inside the cell, that is the intracellular response, and these gates are closed. And these are very specific for the entry of ions and activate cell response. And we'll see about what are G protein coupled receptors. G protein coupled receptors. It accepts a ligand, like we have various forms of ligands, like we can see a light, a peptide, a lipid, sugars, and protein. Now, if we take the series of reaction in the activation of this G protein coupled receptor, in this slide, we can see here there is a binding of a ligand. So once a ligand gets bind over here, we can see there is a usage of there is utilization of GTP. This GTP brings a conformational change here. We see that the GTP is replaced by a GGP is replaced by GTP, and these alpha and beta gamma subunits are separated. Now this brings a cellular response. Once the ligand is removed, or once the ligand is taken up by the cell, this GTP gets converted into GTP ribosylglycine phosphate, and again we can see there is a formation of a heterotrimeric G protein complex. So this is about a G protein coupled receptor.